Alright guys, and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, and we are about to witness your boy Tigre's second testimony. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn. There was some lame guy with the name, yeah, though. I mean, he wanted to borrow some cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, then to Linden. I waited around for him, but he ain't never show. I ain't even never been to that Trey BN joint, you hear? I ain't never been there. Nigga, why you lying? Nigga, why you lying? Nigga? Trey BN matches were found in your office. Fam, I clearly remember finding matches at his office. Found lying in Tender Linden. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? Ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right? Oh my god. The victim, Glenn Elg. I ain't no liar. I ain't never... You know what? I ain't fucking pressing anything because I might lose immediate points. So immediately I'm going straight towards what the contradiction I seen immediately. I waited around for him, but he never shown. I ain't never been to that Trey BN joint. You's here? Bram, we immediately just, come on fam, that was weak. That testimony was weak. Is this something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? Who's you talking about? You found them in your office at Tender Linder. They're from that restaurant. What? If you really never been to Trey BN before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? Been snooping around in my stuff too, huh? Wise guy, what are you? My ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Oh my god. He swings that way? Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? Well, listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I never met that kid. Well. We got a liar here. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elg that day. He did put poison in his coffee. He must have. Come on, fam. Don't make it easy. Make it hard. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon, okay? When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way, and I went straight back to my office. I see. Okay, so he threw some stuff at me, but if only we had that small bottle. If we had some prints, if he had his prints on something, if we had some evidence with his prints on it, dude, that would have been easy. I see. You didn't actually meet with them in the end, then. Oh, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Ah, no problem. Anytime Tripe presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job, so I had to press here. They're pressing that stupid freaking penalty system again, so I have to press something here. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you knows, you's paying. Does the rule of law mean anything around here? Nope, not in Phoenix Wright. Not in your game, buddy. At Trey BN. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. What time? When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. He saw one ugly scene. So as soon as he opened the door, the guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was going to be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. The guy was laid over the table, stiff as concrete. Hold on. Let me look at the floor plans. He said as soon as he walked in, he seen it. But no, he didn't even walk in. He didn't walk in. He just opened the door and seen that. So if we actually look at the floor plans, blueprints of the crime scene. Touch the check button for detail. Look at that. It's blocked off. How? If he opened the door, how would he have seen that? How would he have seen that? You feel me? There's like a border. There's like something covering the damn. Look at that. Look. The entrance is all the way to the right, right? And then like once you come in, you won't see like any customers due to the fact that well, he doesn't get customers, but there's also like borders covering where the customers sit or where they sit down and whatever. Let's actually present. Let's present. No, press him first. An ugly scene? What do you mean? Objection. The witness has already told us, Trite, which makes that question irrelevant. But I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty, Trite. What? Come on, don't make me burn you again, Mr. Wright. Ah! You can't press anything, dog. I shouldn't have pressed him on that. Oh my god, dude. I shouldn't have pressed him. I was scared because I was thinking like, well, maybe I should press him for more details first. The guy was laid out over the table as stiff as concrete. Now go back to this. I think we have to present the damn floor plans though, for real. See, this is... He blew up my points, dude. He blowing up my health with coffee. Let's show the floor plans. This has to be it. That's the only thing I can think of. Let's look over the scenes again. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, I was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. Yeah, man, I'm presenting that. Alright, cool. We got it. We in there. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of this victim's seat. Is that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables, or borders, is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. There's a border, man. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. Why are you sweating, bro? So from that entrance of Tribune, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victims that day because you met with them. Objection! Coffee! Wrong! Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. No! But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elg, but a fake. What? Have you forgotten? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Oh my god, come on, Godot, how did you forget? That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated a victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. Man, El Tigre, dumbass! Come on, fam! Come on, he impersonated me? Obviously, this asshole. No one else could have done it. What? Oh, calm down, Mr. Wright. No need to call the witness an asshole. Just because he looks like an asshole doesn't mean he's an asshole. But he is an asshole. Now that's cute. You was thinking you can pin this on the tiger. Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. And I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts. I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, don't leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Yo, the judge did it to Mr. Wright, so Phoenix Wright did it to the judge. Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just a victim. Oh, no, no, no. The servant girl brought him a Javakino, but she put something in. It was another girl. It was your girl, Violetta. There's no question about it. She was conspicuously putting some white powder in there. It was just sugar. Was the victim, he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Ha! Found your pen at last, Trite? It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident, and someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Gabble, 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 gabble. Who on earth was it? I can tell you the person, the waitress. You need to know. I wonder if I said Mia. Wouldn't that be crazy? Would he if I said Mia? Would he respond to it differently? Whatever. I'm not gonna do it because I'm low on health. Lisa Basil. It had to be Lisa Basil. Look at her. It had to be Walla. Who is this woman? Her name is Walla. No, Viola Cadavarini. Viola Cadavarini. I have trouble saying Cadavarini. It's weird. She's an employee of Tinder Linder. You're making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's father is? Grandfather? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Oh, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had kind of a cackling laugh. Cackling loud, Mr. Tigre, you're about to go to jail forever. No, there are just too many contradictions in this damn case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen, the earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when the eardrum was ruptured. In the radio show he was listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Ferio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, was you! Witness, whatever you got to say. That's cute. That's real fucking cute. Who's alright? I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you missed out on one real important thing. What, that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you's here? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigray? Ha! What a troublemaker. Troublemaker. Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Gavel. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribune between yourself and the victim? Ties to the victim. Yeah, man, I loaned that nigga some cash, about $100,000. That day, we were due to have a little chat. The kid had his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming, "Yes, I won $500,000! He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over." Wow, okay. Okay, Mike, okay. I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. L was $50,000. Yeah, well, you just got the VIG to take into account, you know. Interest builds up fast. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. If I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? CD bomber, MD bomber, something bomber. That was his motive, to get that damn CD. He needed the CD. Ties to the victim. Yeah, I loaned that fool some cash, about $100,000. Okay, that's true. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got nowhere to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming, "Yes, I won $500,000! He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that witch hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over." Would everything really been over though? Like, let's be real. It wouldn't have been over. Tigray, let's be honest. Let's be real honest with each other. You know it wouldn't have been over, fam. It wouldn't have been over. Because you needed $1 million. You needed $1 million. Him giving you $100,000 wasn't gonna solve anything. And he won $500,000. He was gonna be able to pay you $100,000, right? But the thing is, there was something you were really trying to get from him. He was gonna be able to pay you back either way, but he won $1 million, or he won $500,000, right? So instead of giving you what he originally planned, he was gonna give you $100,000. But you said, no, that's not enough. I'm gonna need that CD to sell in the black market for over $1 million. So we know for a fact everything would have never been over for him. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna press him. I'm not sure if I can present anything here. There's nothing I can really present here. I can't present the MC Bomber thing. I can't present anything. I have to press him here because this is like the most evident thing, I feel like. The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the defender's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten away, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done, man. Maybe I should push a little on this. That's how things would have been. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there? What? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before the waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said. The tiger's motive, huh? We got his ass. I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You had to pay those meds, fam. You had to pay off those damn medical bill. Let's present this. Your ass is grass, Tigre. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. L owed you, huh? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right? Mr. Wright? Unfortunately for Mr. L, $100,000 wasn't enough to cover it, was it? Huh? About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery. What are you getting at? Where are you getting all this info, man? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. Payment for these expenses were due in December of last year and was paid in full. $1 million, a preposterous sum. Someone should sue those HMOs. Ha! No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Mr. Tigre, you're giving us lions a bad name. Order! He's a tiger, not a lion. I'm an idiot. He's like a cousin to us. Indeed it did. Simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Huh? Did you say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all the underworld activities in the city and doting grandfather to his precious Viola. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt. Bam, 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 bam. Order in the court.
Objection.
It's a nice little fairy tale trite, but even if the witness did need $1 million, that doesn't tie him to Mr. Elg's murder. Mr. Elg only owed him $100,000 and had hoped of repaying it anyway. Yeah, that guy wasn't worth my spin. I don't think so. In fact, the opposite is true. The opposite? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Do you know where you're going with this, Nick? You got to think outside the box, Maya. Outside the box? It's very straightforward. Mr. Tigre wasn't after the $100 million after all. I said $100 million. $100,000 at all. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? He was after the MC Bomber, which fetched more than $100,000. MC Bomber, baby. MC Bomber, where you at? Digga 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 digga. Where is it? MC Bomber, MC Bomber. Here we go. Dig it! Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money. Care to explain how skill can be used as collateral to secure a loan, trite? He had the skill to create a computer virus, and so he did. A virus known as MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I guess the bear isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Mr. Tigre, you couldn't have cared less about the $100,000, isn't that right? All you cared about was one thing, the virus.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! He's the murderer!
On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glenn Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't. Neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000. Which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting all his hands on the all-important CD. At least no legitimate way. He just carries poison on him. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy! Even Godot's saying that's crazy. He murdered Glenn Elg and then made his next move. To frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenn Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Mrs. Bird, or Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. This is bullshit. Like I said, Trike, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept out of it. But Mr. Armstrong knew all about it. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owned the witness money too, $500,000 in fact. Come on, get with the times. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan.
Man, this shit is crazy. Gravel, gavel, gavel. Order, order, silence, or I will clear the courtroom. Whoa!
Oh my god. We're all hiding under our desk until the next episode of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations.